One of my highlights at Rain City was the first real kick in the ass you ever gave me. And I got a call that night from my buddy Birch, and he's like, so I'm assuming you're going to quit because that was pretty rough. I'm like, fuck that guy. No, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be back in. And I went from putting no loans on the board to, oh, here's $1 million to, well, here's $3 million to then like, fuckers, $10 million. What now?
Everything you do, you learn from. And if you're not learning from it, you got another issue. But the more you take away from the shittiness and the stuff, the hard stuff you went through, I think, and I mean, we've been through lots of stuff together, right? The more you learn from those things and you take away, the better you are because of it. And you know, it's like in those moments realizing like, all right, this is fucking terrible. You know, I wish I didn't do that. I wish the situation would have been different. Taking that like, you know, minute or 24 hours just to wallow in your shit, but move on and learn from it. That's a lot of people don't necessarily take that to heart.
What up? It's Fred Ray, the guy who started Rain City Capital back in 2009 when private lending wasn't exactly the cool kid on the block. Welcome to Good Nuggets, a podcast that's as much about the failures and holy shit moments as it is about the wins. Here's the deal. I watch people go from nearly walking out of the door to becoming absolute powerhouses in this business. We'll get into the weeds with loan officers, talk strategy with fellow lenders, and swap war stories with entrepreneurs who have been there. No fluff, no corporate BS. Just authentic conversations and practical takeaways you can actually use. So grab whatever you're drinking, get comfortable, and let's get after some good nuggets.
Welcome, everyone. I'm here with Jeff Kalmbach. Jeff has been with Rain City for a long time. He still holds the crown for top producer.
That's right, mofos.
Yeah, there's been some close calls, but he still has the ring from forever ago. God knows why, but we've kept him around for this long. Why not keep him around for another decade? Jeff Kalmbach, welcome to Good Nuggets.
Thanks, Fred. Thanks for having me.
You better have some fucking good nuggets to share with the group.
I mean, we'll see.
All right. So the way I always start out with pretty much everybody is a little bit about your story of Rain City. How did you come into Rain City? You know, how did you get here? You know, you've been around. How long has it been?
7+.
Oh, shit, 7 years. So we got 7 years of craziness. I guess tell me how you got to Rain City, and I'll try to guide you through the journey from the rest of it for that other 7 years, and see what you figure or see what you leave out.
Sure. Let's see. So part of my adult life was getting into the mortgage world. I got in 2006. So if any of you know, it's a good time to get into the mortgage world. It's great. It's awesome. And
It wasn't sarcastic, by the way. That was actually like, it was awesome.
It was a good time. Yeah. I had no experience. My father was an auditor, so numbers worked really well in my head. And I got in and I am personable and would dial for dollars and found some good borrowers. And I was working for Countrywide in the full spectrum division. So we weren't full subprime, but we dabbled a little bit in some subprime. Rode that ride all the way until B of A took over and got laid off 2 weeks after my first kid was born. Perfect time to have a kid. This was in 2008, and struggled for a little while. Found loss mitigation, was working with mortgage modifications, and
I did not know that, by the way.
Yeah.
I didn't know the lost mit part.
Yeah.
How long did you do that?
Did that for 3 years.
Holy shit.
Until I got laid off when I had my third kid. Little did I know that was a job where every loan that you modified, you had one less that you could do. And so you just continued to dwindle your opportunities away. And so worked at Chase for several years, where I actually worked with who became my boss here. I'll get to that in a second. Got laid off from Chase. Then I went into commercial lending at US Bank. Mm-hmm. And I thought I'd found like a good spot for me. I enjoyed it. I could go into the branch. I could be personable. I could go out on business calls, helping with, you know, equipment finance or multifamily dwelling or full commercial buildings, what have you. I enjoyed it. It was great. Unfortunately, super conservative lender, and it's just it kind of got old telling people that had good deals no. And so my coworker, who was working at Rain City at the time as a sales director, also named Jeff, encouraged me to come in and talk to him about, hard money. And one thing led to another, and I interviewed with you and walked in the door, and you're like, "Why the fuck are you wearing a suit?" And I'm like, "Because I'm in an interview." And he's like, "Do we look like bankers?" I'm like, "No, take it, got it, thank you."
I just always remember the pink pocket square.
Pink pocket square. Shit, I look good.
The pink is like I still envision you walking through the door. I'm like, and I was standing there. I totally did. I was like, "Why are you wearing a suit?" I didn't say why the fuck, but whatever. But the pink pocket squares, and like you were like, "Oh fuck, where am I?"
Okay, we're gonna choose to have that memory different but the same. Okay.
Fair enough.
There may have been an F-bomb. We'll see.
Okay, so you got here. I said, "What the hell?"
Yep.
And then?
Why are you wearing a suit? Asked me about my why I'm here. What do I want? Asked me a question that I hadn't been asked in a long time. How much do you want to make? And it really, opened my mind. I didn't think big enough at the time. Again, having been laid off a couple times after having a couple kids, like I really wanted to find something that was going to be consistent, and I was going to be able to, just work hard and be compensated well in. I have a really good background in residential lending, so I understand that, and I had understanding in commercial lending, and I'm like, oh man, I can bring these two together, and it could be really pretty cool, and I could make a solid 6-figure income, and it's going to be awesome. And it wasn't at the beginning. It was really hard.
Why was it hard?
We as an organization, we've grown a lot. I dabbled and helped in training people after some time here. But we didn't have that in the beginning. And I've told you often, like, you suck at training people because it's not what you want to do. And you talk about this, like, if it doesn't fill your cup of joy and make you happy, like, you don't want to do it, so you don't do it. You don't try to do it, and you don't do it well. And that's okay. Like, I know what you're good at. You've got a weird, beautiful mind, and that's good for you. Sharing knowledge all the time is not one of your superpowers, and you accept that. And so it made it hard in the beginning to be successful. You had to be, kind of listen to other people's conversations, and I came in a weird time where the person that I thought was going to be my trainer had stepped out the door and went on to do other things. And so it was myself, my boss at the time, Jeff, who was brand new to hard money or private money, and then my counterpart, Lisa Say, the queen at Rain City. And she was brand new to it, and like, it was a lot of, blind leading the blind, trying to figure it out. And it was hard in the beginning. It really was. Part of it was I just didn't know where to go to look. I have all these contacts that I've made that are, dentists and own, office buildings or own gas stations or own restaurants or, have, 60 or 80 or 200 unit rental properties, or people that have a primary residence. And that's not what I'm looking for anymore. Mm-hmm. So I started looking in the wrong spot. It took a while.
Fishing in the wrong pond. Mm-hmm. All right, so that was 6.5 years ago.
Yep.
6.5 years. Summation is, probably going to be tough, but like, what maybe some highlights or lowlights over that time period? And
yeah, I've talked about this to countless people. One of my highlights at Rain City was the first real kick in the ass you ever gave me. I'd been here for about 3 months, and you called me into my boss's office, and you're like, "All right, I'm going to give you a loan scenario. You tell me what you can do." And I'm like, "Duh." You started throwing stuff out there, and I tried to bullshit my way through it, and you're like, you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Well, the reason why I went in there is because both of you guys, because you're homies, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys are slapdicking around in the office. So I sat down in front of, down in that office, and I was like, "What do you know?"
Yeah.
And if you're
I
slapdicking
didn't know
around,
shit.
if you're slapdicking around, you better know your shit.
Yeah. And it was great. I won't forget it. I remember, you know, feeling down on myself and like, fuck, man, I really don't know what I'm doing. And being mad at myself, being mad at Jeff, being mad at, you know, just at everything. And being like, all right, this is not going to define me. And I got a call that night. I was sitting on the couch with my wife. I got a call from my buddy Birch, and he's like, so I'm assuming you're going to quit because that was pretty rough. I'm like, fuck that guy. No, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be back in. And it still took about a month or so. I kept going to events. I had a very fortunate opportunity where we were, we had a booth at an event. Mm-hmm. It was here in the Pacific Northwest. It was a large event. There was, I don't know, 12, 15, 1,800 people that showed up. And that's the time I look back where I'm like, that's the moment. Right then and there, spending, you know, 12 hours a day for 3 days in a row, manning a booth and just elevator pitch after elevator pitch after elevator pitch, and just fine tuning that short little, like, I got to get your attention. And I mean, I still have some borrowers to this day from that event. And I mean, it really turned things around. And I went from putting no loans on the board to, oh, here's $1 million, to, well, here's $3 million, to then like, fuckers, $10 million. What now? So, and then it slowly then morphed. My buddy, my boss, Birch, he told me that he couldn't do it anymore, that this just wasn't for him. And we had you only, which was great. It was awesome.
That was sarcasm.
It was? Oh, I thought the camera would catch my smile. So, yeah, I mean, I set a new benchmark for the company. It was great. But as time went on, Jeff Birch, my old boss, decided this wasn't for him. And so we had some time where we didn't have a sales director. We had you, which was, I mean, you are not great at training, but it's fine. And so we talked about me just onboarding some new people. And so I, you know, would interview and help onboard and bring some people on, and that was fine. Because it's hard to find good people that end up fitting with the culture and can produce and what have you. And did that for a little while, and then started talking to you about, all right, you know what, you haven't found anybody yet. You are a unique person to work for. And so I mentioned that.
Take that as a compliment, by the way.
You very well should. Mm-hmm. It was intended as a compliment. That you haven't found anybody yet, so I will, you know, take on being a producing sales director. And I'll continue to work and grow the team and produce at the same time. And I did that for a while, and it was fun. I enjoyed the competition, still, you know, going up against loan officers every day. And I recognized at a certain point that it wasn't what was best for Rain City and for the Shield. I wasn't giving the loan officers the attention that they deserved because I had my own pipeline. And part of it was because, you know, my competitive nature, I just wanted to win all the time. So I started looking for a loan officer to take my place, and I made some offers for some people that I thought would be really, really good. And they were afraid because this is an eat what you kill environment, and they were afraid of that. And so I kept looking, and I found a couple people to take over my pipeline. I had a pretty good month, my last month of originating. Gave away a couple $1 million to a few different loan officers, and then put a couple $1 million on the board for myself, and then stopped originating from there.
That was the ultimate mic drop.
It was a pretty good one.
So I counted at 14.
It was somewhere between like 13 and 14 million. I mean, part of it is I was pissed because a loan didn't fund at the month end, which was 2.3 million, which would have taken it closer to like 16 million.
Yeah.
But you know what? It was still a good month.
Yeah. 14.
And yeah, stopped originating and focused solely on building the team. Now here I am today, where I have a title that I joke about. I don't know what it is because it's vague. It's weird. It's VP of Sales, Strategy, and Business Development. Yes.
Yeah.
And like even you asked me recently, what do you do? And I'm like, that's a great question. You don't need to know. I'm like, don't worry about this. I'm just here so I don't get
Star Wars
fined.
right now.
So
Don't worry.
yeah, it's all
It'll
good.
be okay.
It's all good, man.
One thing that I've shared publicly, but I think putting on the podcast just for everyone to know you as a human being, on that mic drop month, you ended up basically tithing, but tithing to the people of Rain City. It was a giant month for the company, and we ended up giving some money away. And I asked for donations from loan officers, and you legit gave 10%, which was a meaningful number. I think it was probably like a third of the total dollars that we gave away. So for those that don't know that, many that do, but for the new folks, he does have a big old heart, sometimes a little too big.
It's my love language. I love giving people stuff.
I love money.
Love giving people stuff like Christmas gifts. I love being creative with my loan officer Christmas
I definitely
gifts.
got a few of those that are in this office
They
right
may
now.
not be appropriate.
Probably not. Well, just going to leave those there. Okay. You are a lifelong Seahawks fan, correct?
Yep.
Me too. This is going to be a tough one, and you can't sandbag on this one. Who's your favorite Seahawk ever? I got to pick one.
Growing up, it was Largent. I was very fortunate. We had a family friend that had season tickets, and as they got older, they stopped going, so they gave my dad and I the tickets, and we went to a lot of games. And I really, really, really enjoyed Largent a lot. And then, I mean, Cortez came around, and I mean, he's just different. Like, he's a big old teddy bear. He was an amazing human being, from anything that you hear. So I'd probably say Tez.
Tez. That's a good pick.
What's
He's
yours?
legit. 100% without a doubt, Cam Chancellor. And, you know, actually, I'm not sure if many people noticed it, but Tyler Lockett, whenever he came out of the tunnel, he would do the Richard Sherman, and then he would do the Bam Bam Cam. Man, those days are over. But definitely, I love that he hammered people and he wasn't a shit talker. He was all about that fucking business, and everyone knew to stay away from him too. And you don't get safeties that are just fucking.
It's not like that anymore.
Oh,
a lot
dude.
of Kenny Easley in that boy.
Woo!
Like, bad man right there.
Yeah, and it was just also like the time and the team they had around him that just all of it. But yeah, Cam
I
Chancellor.
imagine myself a lot like Cam. Come across the middle.
I'm gonna leave that one alone. Okay, so you've been in Rain City for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
How's your life changed over the last 7 years?
I have been very fortunate monetarily. I've worked hard. I've been able to do some things with my family that were considerably harder before. We nearly bankrupted ourselves putting our kids through private Montessori school just to get them a good head start. Losing your job twice in 5 years and it is not hard, and like is better than probably I, because of your origin story and things you've gone through. So it's really given us some stability, and it's allowed me to like walk the walk with my kids about teaching them about savings, teaching them about investing, encouraging, I encourage prospective loan officers. Anytime I hear someone that doesn't own a home, I'm like, all right, stop being a fucking idiot. Okay, whatever you do, whether you end up working with me or not, you need to go house hack. You need to go buy a place. utilize the financing that's out there, FHA, VA, USDA, conventional, whatever. You can get in at a ground level. You don't have to move into this, amazing home to start with. Like 10 year, 15, 20 year from now, you is going to look back and thank you for, instead of living in this apartment, live in this duplex and split it with somebody else and then do it again and again. So
youth is wasted on the young. So true.
All of you.
Okay, so you basically said it, you made more money.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way that your life has changed over the last 7 years?
I mean, it allows me to give. I have changed the way I think about like what I want my kids to do. It's changed the way I think about what I want my wife to do, because my wife works so hard, and if she wants to keep doing it, she can keep doing it, and she does, which is all about her. It's also, this company has made me cry more, so
it's not that hard.
It's not that hard, but it is tears of joy, man. Like, you brought up the giving back, and like I really, really, really do enjoy being able to just give whenever. Doesn't matter. Like if it's lunch, if it's surprising someone. Like, we had a coworker for Christmas a few years back. Santa bought one of those dog DNA tests and put it in my wife's stocking, and it was the DNA results of our 2 dogs, which, like, one of them was rescued. Fine, it's fun, whatever. And I brought it up to a coworker, and she's like, "Oh man, my husband won't let me do that. Says it costs too much money." And I, like, on the spot, talking to them, Amazon, same day delivery, delivered to that person, 6 hours later. And then I encourage him, like, okay, now don't tell him Father's Day is around the corner. I want you to give it to him for Father's Day, which she did. And then he was mad because she bought it, but she didn't buy it. So then he was happy. But it was just like, it's been great. And it's not the amount of money at any time. It's just
more the opportunity of giving.
Yeah.
So you basically, if I'm trying to paraphrase here, you, over the last 7 years, your life has changed because you've made more money, but maybe has it accentuated other things, or has it just enabled you to, like, I guess, be a little bit more content? I guess I'm trying to get to, like, a little bit more, because, I mean, anybody could say, like, okay, I'm an adult, I've been working for a while, I make more money, great.
I joke because, like, I still live in South King County. I live in the same house that we almost lost in 2008 and 9. Like, I try to be modest. No shame on anyone that wears a fancy Rolex or, rolls in a brand new car all the time. And I want my kids to grow up knowing, like, hey, you got to work hard for stuff. But for me, I have always wanted to be the continuous giver, like, just to give whenever you want. And it means more to me to, like, holidays and birthdays for me are uncomfortable. I don't like to get the presents. I don't need that.
Yeah, they're the quintessential. I like to give, I don't like to receive. Yeah.
It just to see a smile on someone's face because, Chipotle showed up on a Thursday. Sure, great. That's fantastic. It just makes people's lives better.
Or a case of Coors Light. On a Friday.
A random case of Coors Light shows up at somebody's, house. So be it. Not going to say who this person is. You know who you are.
Let's change gears slightly. I think some of the listeners of this are probably people that are either coming in the business or in the business in general. I mean, you've been doing this a long time now. What would be the number one advice, or maybe like top three pieces of advice you would give to a new salesperson coming in?
Base hits win ball games. Get them on, get them over, get them in. And with lending, like, my biggest regret as an originator was I would continuously go whale hunting. And it's ironic because some of my best months were times where I was whale hunting, and I was getting, $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, $6 million loans. Those are great, but those did not ensure my longevity as an originator. And I tell loan officers all the time, like, you got to find those borrowers that are, like, they're just going to be consistent. And they're going to, I have a loan officer right now, and he is so consistent with his $180,000 to $225,000 loans. And you know what? He's going to continue to find those borrowers. And he puts up numbers every single month. And those are the ones that you want to find and hold on to, because those people, and it's happened to me, that were buying multi-million-dollar properties, when the economy changes like it is right now, they stop.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're sitting on a fat nest egg, and they're like, I don't need to do anything for a little bit. Or they might go from doing, 2 or 2.5 a year to 1 every 2 years. And that can have a drastic effect in your business. And then number 2, like, you need to have your elevator pitch down. You need to, whatever it is, you need to be really good about it and understand that for your borrowers, making sure they know what you can do, and it should come out, consistent and clean. You almost shouldn't have to think about it. So practice it. I have someone new that just started, and this little fucker, I'm so impressed with him. He's having conversations with AI right now. And I'm like, that's fucking genius.
Is he trying to pitch?
He's trying to pitching deals. He is talking to a prospective borrower. He is taking deals that we have funded and put some of the parameters into AI, and then saying, okay, you're going to be the borrower. Okay, I'm calling you to try to get a loan, and I want to talk this through. And it's a good way for him just to get those at bats, right? You think about Kobe Bryant. I mean, what was it? 10,000 free throws a day. Like, he just go in the gym and shoot. This guy is over here. He's trying to hone his tools right now.
That's such a crazy idea.
Yeah,
I freaking love it.
Yeah.
Ah, shit. You got my brain going now.
Oh, you don't even know, man. You walked in my office. I had 2 chats going at the same time, talking about 2 different topics, trying to figure 2 different things out, because I'm like, AI, we need to make this better. Like, how do I help my loan officers with this, and this? And it man. And I had funders today. They're like, this guy over there is crushing it. We're hearing him on the phone. He sounds so good. That borrower is going to, like, he's going to get his first deal. I'm like, he's talking to AI. They're like, no, he's not. That conversation sounds so natural. I'm like, good at bats.
God, what a fucking great training tool, though.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought about that until right this moment.
Don't worry, I already reached out to our CTO, and I'm like, guess what this guy's doing?
Shit. I love that.
So, Kalmbach, what do you do? Come up with weird new shit.
Well, some random person came up with that's amazing.
He came up with it, and I'm like, I know a way to make everyone here better. And we talked about it for a while. I'm like, bro, that's genius.
Yeah, that's awesome. What a freaking great, man. The power of AI it's changing everything. It's going to be awesome. But
Skynet.
A little scary at the same time. Well, people are openly feeding everything they can into these things. Yeah, what's happening? I mean, the collective hive mind is figuring some weird shit out. It's going to be, I don't know. For me, I like it's inevitable. I embrace it, but it's also like it's going to be a very quickly evolving thing. And,
How about to derail us with AI?
well, dude, I mean, I think the thing that is probably the most important and maybe the most misunderstood about AI is it's not the people that aren't, or AI will not replace your job for the most part. In some cases, it will. If I was like a programmer or like it was an SEO or shit like that, I would be shitting my pants right now. Fortunately, we are not. I've been thinking about it, how it takes us out of the knees. It's possible. It's the people that use AI are going to take your job. And like the overall hiring is going to slow drastically. Like I don't necessarily know this is true, so you have to fact check me on this one. But the CEO of Shopify was like, 100%. If you have to prove that job cannot be done by AI before we approve you hiring that person or that position.
Damn.
Yeah. So I got a question for you. Do you have any questions for me? Actually, I give everybody one shot, one question to ask me, whatever they want. Could be my favorite color, which is not purple. It could be, why do I have a money tree sitting right here? Anything you want.
What's the biggest mistake you've made in the last 5 years at Rain City Capital?
Oh, fuck, that's not within 5 years. Can I extend it slightly?
Sure, because you can't say 7 because that's when I started.
No. God, that would have been funny. I didn't even think about that.
That's why I said 5.
No, so in 2018 and 2019, I raised a whole bunch of money with Rain City. And when I raised a whole bunch of money, I completely wussed out. What I should have done is grown, but I was afraid. I was afraid of the market. I was afraid of being too big. I was afraid of all the things. Even though, like, looking back, it was just fear. I've let fear dictate a decision that is my biggest professional regret, which was like, I should have just grown. I should have gone with it. I should have scaled up, and I should have grown the line of credit, and I should have done those things, and I didn't. Yeah, that's an easy one. Going back, I'm like,
It's so funny you say that, because your personal and professional growth, from not just my standpoint, but I think from our head of underwriting, from sales, like Lisa would probably argue that you've grown so much and you've improved in just everything, every facet. Like, it would have been too soon. But I look back and I'm like, man, if only we had a little things we could have done back then, it would have been pretty dope. But I think it would have been hard.
yeah.
That makes sense.
I mean, the one thing that I've learned is going through this business, especially like recently closing our securitization, was like, I learned really well being in the fucking hot seat. Like, it put me in a room of just fucking craziness, and I will figure it out. Like, put me in chaos, and I will straighten the shit up. And that's not necessarily the best way to learn. And I think that I would have grown more if I didn't let fear take over. I spent a lot of time thinking about this, and also just like with coaching and whatnot. And it's still, I may or may not have been ready, but on the other side of that, I would have been better off. And I think back, I'm like, man, like, there's these stair-stepping moments, and every time the market takes a shit, Rain City, I'm sure you've been around long enough for me to notice this, like, I take advantage of the opportunity as much as I can. And, we got 2 really kind of interesting opportunities, 1, COVID, and 22, the interest rate craziness. And I was able to really kind of build us up pretty quickly, or at least build our foundation pretty quickly to be able to, grow a little bit more and make us a little bit more solid. I don't know where I was going with that, but like, it's still my biggest regret professionally, for sure, that I didn't just nut up and do it. But it was also a great learning experience too. Like everything you do, you learn from. And if you're not learning from it, you got another issue. But the more you take away from the shittiness and the stuff, the hard stuff you went through, I think, and I mean, we've been through lots of stuff together, right? The more you learn from those things and you take away, the better you are because of it. And, you know, it's like in those moments realizing like, all right, this is fucking terrible. You know, I wish I didn't do that. I wish the situation would have been different. Taking that like, you know, minute or 24 hours just to wallow in your shit, but move on and learn from it. That's a lot of people don't necessarily take that to heart. I mean, we're both in the whole like child of 2008 thing. You know, currently the CFPB doesn't exist really. There's like 8 people there or something like that, right? Credit default swaps are becoming a new cool thing. Mm-hmm. Like we're starting to fucking rewind the whole like 2005, 2008 stuff again. So I mean, who knows what's going to happen? But you know, having hindsight is beneficial unless it owns you. And I let it own me in that moment. It was terrible. It was
interesting.
Definitely not fun. But again, I learned. And actually the one thing that I did that got me out of it, that really solidified it, and I'll thank my coach for this. She was like, all right, Fred, you know, when you wake up in the morning, name 3 things that you're grateful for that can't be taken away from you. And I was like, well, fuck, everything could be taken away. Like, all right, Fred, you're being too literal. Stop being such a dumbass. What are 3 things that is in your life that cannot be taken away? You know, past moments and whatnot. It really kind of helped me deal with some of the past trauma of loss and, you know, getting killed. And like not getting killed metaphorically, but professionally. Mm-hmm. It was an interesting time.
For a second there, I'm like, are you a Highlander?
Not getting killed. Do you want to tell us about your purple toes?
Sure. I have 3 kids, 2 girls and a non-binary. I love them to the moon and back.
Do you want to show everybody?
Can you see my toes?
Oh my gosh. They're absolutely terrible, just so you know. Absolutely terrible.
Or maybe I've got a second career.
This is jarring.
I'm just saying.
This is not OnlyFans quality right now.
Look, hold on. Purple toes with Fred Ray. So I have 3 wonderful kids. I got to go on a weekend away with a couple families that I hold very near and dear to my heart. I consider them my own kids. They call me Uncle Jeff. And I was hanging out, and one of them's like, can I paint your toes? I'm like, fuck yeah, you can paint my toes. Let's do this. And so she painted my toes, and I'm perfectly fine with it, man. I will. There's not a lot I won't do for my kids or other kids to see them smile and make them laugh. I like being that big goofy guy.
That you are. With that, favorite Rain City moment?
I had a pretty good month where I got a loan approved for somebody, and we do not do log homes. Okay, if it's a log cabin, there's some challenges with people obtaining financing on them, so there's not a great takeout for them. And I had a borrower that had a home that had a log home facade siding. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, all right, let me look closer at it. And I pull up on county records. I'm like, no problem, we're gonna get this done. And Lisa Say, our top producer, she's like, what? Fuck that. That's a log cabin. There's no way, blah, blah, blah. Loan ends up getting funded. And I'm like, I know what we're gonna do. Monday sales meeting right after this. We would have Monday sales meetings in our conference room where everybody would come in and they would talk about what they're doing for the week, which was really just a way for us to bond and come together as a family. And so I built out of Lincoln logs, a log cabin for Lisa. And I put a picture of Fred Ray on one of the people and Lisa Say. And I may have put our head underwriter in there as well. And I called it Lisa's Log Cabins. And I presented it to her.
Lisa's Logs.
And it sat in her office.
I did. I don't know where that is now. It's somewhere.
Probably still here.
Somewhere.
See, giving gifts, man.
I think it
Love
might still actually be we might be able to find it. We'll take a picture of it. We'll put it in the show notes.
Put in the show notes.
That's your favorite Rain City moment?
You asked for one of them. Like I'm gonna have a hard time coming down to just one moment or even a handful of moments. That there are so many wonderful memories with these people that, you know, people that are here, people that are no longer here, and I have found my tribe. I mean, I joke with you every anniversary. Fuck, you haven't fired me yet, and I really do love it here. Someday something's gonna happen, and we're gonna part ways, and it is what it is. But it'll be one of the hardest things for me at that point, because I do really I thoroughly enjoy it. I mean, today someone scared the shit out of me as I was on the phone with the CEO of another company, came out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh fuck! And it's little things like that. I mean, there's moments of being in the conference room, somebody at another company window that we could see kind of kitty corner of us that they put up on a Monday morning, like on a big piece of paper. What's so funny? Because we're just sitting there laughing. You know, we do our daily pipeline call, and it is one of the things that I was most worried about when it came to COVID. Like, how do I no longer have the interactions with individuals on a day-to-day basis and build those bonds? Because for me, like, I don't want to just, like, his name is Fred. Like, I want to know some things about Fred, and I want to be somewhat close in Fred's world, and I want that for a lot of people here. And so, you know, to continue to build those, and our daily pipeline has done that. I mean, we have over 100 people in the organization. They're all invited, and on any given day, we might have 70 people that join this call, and the reality of it is it's a sales fucking call. So I mean, there's really only 40 people, maybe 30 that need to be there.
Not even that.
Yeah, and it's like people come because we laugh and we have a good time.
It is kind of cool to come on like 4 minutes in, and there's legitimately 60 or 70 people that are in there.
Yeah,
Or that does make my heart happy when there's that many people. I'm like, dude, 70% of the company is showing up for a 30-minute meeting, or not even a 30-minute meeting, like a 15-minute meeting, just to come on and fuck around, or at least watch the dumb fuckery.
Yeah,
it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, one of my favorite moments is we had someone that this was their first adult job, and they came on as our front desk person. And one of our questions is, what's your favorite swear word? And she had come out of being a nanny and just dealing with littles, and she's very, very like reserved and motherfucker. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? It's what? It's motherfucker. And now to this day, every time I talk to this person, I'm like, what's up, motherfucker? And she will bring it right back to me. Hey, my motherfucker. And it's just like, man.
I especially like the certificate. Like give her a little certificate of her first swear word.
It's so many of those moments, man.
There's a lot.
I hate you for
there's a lot.
Place so much.
Short answer. What do you think your contribution to Rain City's culture is?
Oh man, I said it earlier. I found my tribe. I think I'm goofy and weird, and I think that I'm honest enough and open enough that everyone here can see, like, that this is a safe place. Like, I interview 99% of the salespeople, and it ain't because of my riveting questions, right?
I think people are picking up on your strategy too. It's funny.
I don't know, man. I went into an interview the other day, and I may have made him pee himself because I was 2 minutes late to the interview because I had to get water, and I turned on my camera. I'm like, "What's up, Lorenzo?" And he's like, "Jesus."
Yeah, you gotta be careful because people like they'll click off, and
you never know. You know. So for me, I am very much protective of our culture, and I want people to want to be here, and I want people to love it here, and I want them to be okay to say, this is not for me. Mm-hmm. Like, I am perfectly fine with that, because
I say it every quarter. if this isn't your place, it's not your place, and that's okay.
Perfectly fine. So I don't know if that answered your question, but that's how I feel.
It's good. Well, thank you, Jeff. Appreciate you. Haven't fired you yet. Hopefully, won't fire you for at least another
I mean,
long
I
time.
did think it would have been pretty dope if you'd done it here. It would have sucked because it would have been captured in camera. But
that would have been good. I think you got to go through like the 5 stages of grief, right? Yeah, I don't think. Hopefully, that doesn't happen anytime soon. We'll just keep crushing it and see how fucking far we can take this place.
thanks, man. Appreciate the time.
Thanks for doing it. Good nuggets, we out, motherfuckers!